If you're talking about the medical news, Aisha, look, you don't know how situation will evolve. Fingers crossed that this is not a big variant and this in a sense does not spread across. But if you do a comparison, and we are looking at a financial market comparison here, financial markets, we all know that they tend to be heartless. Well, the situation is not that dire in India versus what it is in Europe. So that gives you an edge up automatically, because we've seen that post the second wave, in a sense, the situation in India has stabilized, the number of vaccination has increased, and in terms of the number of current cases, the number of current cases are under control, and life by and large has normalized. Compare that with what is happening in Europe, and compare that with what is happening in US, and compare that with the news which has come in Africa. So we are in a much better position, and fingers crossed that we don't see a wave here per se. So on that front, if you look at India's positioning, I think it's better. Second is on the valuation front. I guess, Asha, a selling already has kicked in, and there are individual stocks which have already started correcting 5 to 7%, 8 to 10%, and these declines in a sense are giving great entry points. I mean, Reliance corrected 10% plus, and there was a big value buying in Reliance yesterday. It certainly shot up by 6%. So you will actually find these spots where markets will you'll have to identify individual names where you know that either there is a valuation comfort, or there is some or there is a short to medium term trigger which could re-rate the stock. Third, Aisha, is that there were two things which actually really helped the India positioning. Number one, money was moving out of China. That has stopped now, because we've not heard anything from China in terms of any more policy tightening. And B, you've got large amount of selling, Aisha, which is now coming, and the sell figure by FI may look large in itself, but that also could be because there are a lot of interchanges which are happening in the primary market. So for example, we've known after Paytm listing, some FIs have exited. That gets translated in the FI figure. We know that for a lot of other fintechs also the similar story is at play. So while the FI selling figure is a negative figure, you also need to read in context with what is happening to the FI selling, given that FIs also are looking at reducing and bringing the exposure down in some of the new fintech companies or the new internet companies.